And families. This is Mrs. Martinez, principal at Wharton Elementary. Wanted to share some updated information regarding our blended learning model and provide you with some information around procedures and protocols that students and staff will be following as we move towards blended learning next week. What is blended learning? As we know, the Pennsylvania Department of Education defines blended learning as any model in which the number of students in a school building is reduced to allow for social distancing of 6 feet. The School District of Lancaster has moved ahead with our blended learning model to include in-person learning as well as asynchronous learning for students in all grade levels. I want to talk a little bit about the schedules that will be involved as we move ahead with our blended learning model. We know that our first phase of students will be returning next week, the week of October 26th, and that for Wharton will be kindergarten, first, and third grades. Students are designated either to be in a Monday, Tuesday cohort or a Thursday, Friday cohort. All students participate in asynchronous learning on Wednesdays. So if your child is in a Monday, Tuesday cohort, they will be involved in in-person learning at school on Monday and Tuesday, and they will be involved in asynchronous learning at home on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Also, on Thursday and Friday, if they are a Thursday, Friday cohort, they will be involved with asynchronous learning on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, and attend Wharton for in-person learning on Thursday and Friday. Wharton's daily schedule for in-person instruction, that follows our traditional schedule. School for students receiving in-person instruction at Wharton will run 8:45 a.m. to 3:15 p.m. Arrival. Doors will open at 8:30 a.m. School starts at 8:45 a.m. Traditionally, we have opened at 8:10 a.m. to provide breakfast for students. In order to allow for social distancing, we will be providing bagged breakfast for all students that they will receive upon arrival at 8:30. They'll be able to have these breakfasts in their classroom, which will allow for cohorts to be safely social distancing. Dismissal will be at 3:15. If your child is involved in virtual instruction, meaning they are participating in asynchronous instruction, they will continue to follow their 8:45 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. schedule. Building procedures. So hallways and stairwells, we've been working diligently to get all of our signage up to really ensure that students and staff know the expectations around social distancing while in the hallways and the stairwells. Hallways, while not able to provide one-way access because of the size of our building throughout the whole day, we will have signage up that will allow for one-way directionality of hallways at arrival and also at dismissal. During the day, students will be provided with prompts. As you can see on the floor there, the district has provided awesome signage to remind students to be walking on the right-hand side of the hallway. With students walking on the right-hand of the side of the hallway, that automatically allows for social distancing in the hall. Restrooms. Again, our staff is really working hard to make sure that we have signs up to remind students about keeping safe, keeping at a safe distance. We have provided also capacity for social distancing at sinks by shutting down one sink in each bathroom to have space between students as they use those sinks to wash their hands. We also will be limiting the number of students that are using the restroom at each time. Additionally, staff will have a process set up in classrooms for students to be signing in and out as they are using the restroom, which will enable contact tracing in these locations. Students may only use the water fountains to fill water bottles. Wharton will be providing each student with a disposable water bottle that they will have the opportunity to label and use again and again for refilling at water fountains. Parents and guardians are encouraged to send in personal water bottles that are labeled for their students' use. Arrival and dismissal. We know that having staggered entry points is key to allowing for social distancing. Kindergarten students, first grade and second grade students, third and fourth grade students, and fifth grade students will each have separate locations where they will be both entering the building and exiting the building. You can see here by the photo that's provided, the kindergarten team will be entering and exiting and using the doors off of Lancaster Avenue. First and second grade students, they will be entering and exiting the building there at the old Mary Street entrance under the arch stoneway there by the school sign. Third and fourth grade students will enter and exit at the main entrance by the flagpole, and fifth grade students will be entering and exiting at the rear entrance off of the playground. Each of these groups, for the first couple of days of school, will have locations, and there will be designated spots for students to stand in their classroom line to meet their teacher and enter the building. After that first week of school, for each cohort, students will be entering the building at 8:30. There will be staff there to supervise their entrance, provide them with their breakfast, and our youngest students in kindergarten and first grade will be escorted to their classrooms to ensure safe arrival. Students and parents are encouraged not to arrive before the stated arrival times so we can really encourage social distancing and limit the number of gatherings. Please understand that these arrival and dismissal points will remain consistent for both walkers and bus riders. Staff will be at each location, kindergarten and first and second grade. If they are bus riders, they will be escorted to their entry doors by a staff member to ensure safe arrival and also safe dismissal. Unfortunately, at this time, we may not allow parents or guardians to enter the school due to district health and safety protocols. And we do have a reminder for all parents and caregivers that all persons need to be masked when they are on Wharton property. Classrooms. Teachers have been working diligently to get classrooms ready. We want to ensure that these spaces are warm and welcoming and provide an awesome opportunity and environment for learning, but also one that is safe. Teachers have been working, as you can see in these pictures, are classrooms where they use tables. Students are placed at each end of the table, and many of those classrooms actually also have built guards that go between those students that are clear so students can see each other and participate, but will also increase safety. Some classrooms, as you can see, have desks put together. So that enables cohorts. So on one desk might be a Monday, Tuesday cohort student, and the other desk might be a Thursday, Friday cohort student. As we know, buildings will be cleaned and sanitized each day, but especially during the spaces in between cohorts to enable sanitizing and safe learning environments. Teachers will be arranging for mass breaks throughout the day. Students will be socially distant at their desk, and students and teachers will be working collaboratively during these times, with teachers ensuring that students are supervised for these mass break opportunities. Additionally, teachers have been coming up with systems to ensure that students are not sharing materials. I know that teachers will be in touch with you regarding any materials that need to be sent into school. We are really encouraging students not to bring additional materials. We are trying to limit the materials coming to and from school and home. Cafeteria and meal procedures. We discussed already that breakfast will be eaten in classrooms, and there will be a cold grab-and-go breakfast each day. For lunchtime, students will be eating in the cafeteria. Our staff start team has been working diligently to be sure that we have safe protocols to enable students time in the cafeteria to eat lunch. Every student will have an assigned seat, and classrooms and homerooms will have sets of tables so that cohorts are not mixing for any reason. Lunches will be delivered to tables so that we do not have students going through the kitchen at this point. We really want to make sure that we are minimizing contact, and also want to make sure that students have the least amount of exposure at lunch. Of course, students may bring their own breakfast or lunch to school with them. We do ask for, however, that there is no additional heating or preparation that would need to happen, including staff for those breakfast or lunch brought from home. Students will be washing hands prior to eating lunch and after returning to the classroom. They will be allowed to have their masks off while in the cafeteria. They will be seated at their assigned seat, but then, of course, will be masked before they return back to the classroom. Recess procedures. We know that recess is a very important part of the day for students. It provides an opportunity for healthy exercise, a chance to get out some energy and hopefully soak up some vitamin D. We have established playground protocols. We have only one grade level outside for recess at a time. And as you can see from the photo here, our recess areas will be separated so that each classroom has their own space. The field space will be marked with cones. The playground apparatus will not be available for use at this time. There's just no way to ensure that we can make sure that that is sanitized between classes. Students will be wearing masks while they are outside and will be following all socially distanced protocols. Cleaning and sanitizing procedures. Our custodial staff has been working diligently to make sure that buildings are ready and will remain ready and safe for students and staff as we begin our blended learning. The building will be cleaned throughout the day with a high concentration on high-touch areas as well as restrooms. Staff has been provided additional cleaning materials and supplies that they may choose to utilize, in addition to the efforts that from our custodial team. Health and safety protocols. We know that student health protocols are vital at this time. As you can see, this has been listed on the district website, and I just wanted to make sure that we also were aware. So please ensure that you at home are doing your own check-ins regarding your children. There has been some questions about whether or not we will be taking temperatures. Our nursing department has made a decision moving ahead that we will not be taking temperatures, as this has not been a consistent indicator of the presence of COVID in children. Instead, we are asking you to keep an eye on the symptoms in Group A and in Group B, and making sure that you are following procedures based on any symptoms from your child that your child may exhibit. As far as monitoring student health while in the building, our health team will be monitoring and reporting the number of students that are sent home with a fever over 100, as well as the number of students absent daily. This is an important metric for our health service team to be sharing with the district, as they will be keeping an eye on district-wide trends. As you can see here, we have listed out the steps that will happen if there is a student that we discover is infected with COVID. They will be sent to the nurse's office, and the health services protocol will be followed to provide care for the student. There is a reporting form and a reporting process we'll discuss in a minute, but I want you to know and trust that all of the guidelines that our nursing department are following the PA Department of Health guidelines. Any students who were displaying symptoms may return to school with a clearance note from a health professional or must be fever-free for 72 hours. Any children who were sent home due to COVID symptoms must be seen by a school nurse upon return to school. Contact tracing and COVID reporting procedures. The district has provided, and we are following a very strict set of guidelines around COVID reporting and contact tracing. As you can see here, the guidelines are intended to provide additional information when a COVID exposure, presumed case, or confirmed positive case that needs to be reported. If a parent or guardian believes that their child has been exposed or may have COVID, they should be contacting our health room directly. The health room staff will report the exposure using the SDOL COVID reporting form. Once the report is completed, the coordinator of health services takes over and they provide guidance to our health services team regarding next steps. We ask that parents and guardians cooperate with the Department of Health contact tracing services team under the direction of the coordinator of health or her designee. And I want everyone to understand that when it comes to any positive cases reported, it is solely the function of our coordinator of health services. She is the only one authorized to provide parents and students around any positive cases and any next steps. Speaking of next steps, just a reminder about some expectations. Some parents had wondered regarding uniforms. Of course, when your child is participating in at-home asynchronous instruction, of course, no need for uniforms, but we are asking that all students that are participating in school instruction are in uniform while at Wharton. Please, please do not send your child to school if they're ill. Please email or contact the main office. And please notify the school immediately if you feel your child may have been exposed to COVID-19. Just a reminder that all students, staff, caregivers, and parents are asked to be in masks and utilizing masks when in school or on Wharton property. Masks will be provided to any adult or student if they do not have one at arrival or dismissal. Students will be expected to follow all of the guidelines and protocols that our START team and teachers have set up to ensure a safe learning environment. Again, we are asking that you minimize what your child brings to school. We are really trying to limit the amount of things traveling to and home and any type of exposure to materials either in the home or at school. Please know that if your child exhibits any illness while at school, our health services team will be in contact with you immediately. Please know that your child's teacher will be in contact regarding any of the classroom supplies and any other school startup information that will be applicable in the next days and weeks. Please know we are so excited to be welcoming your child back to in-person instruction at Wharton Elementary. Please continue to reach out with any questions, concerns, or ideas as we move through this transition. We feel very lucky to be part of such a supportive Wharton community, and we look forward to welcoming your child back to Wharton. Thank you.